Hello and welcome to Roll for Recipe, the series where the dice are the head chef. I'll roll for ingredients and then make a dish with them. Let's go! First, our D12 restriction roll. That's an 8 for lunch special. And which type of lunch special are we making? That's 4 for soup. And D10 for protein. That's a 7 for venison, haven't gotten that in a while. And a D8 for carb. That's 7 jasmine rice. Now our D20 seasoning roll. That's a 9 for Old Bay. Don't know if I've ever had Old Bay and venison together, but we're gonna try it. Now 2D20 for produce. That's a 2 for okra and a 7 for cauliflower. And finally our D100 wild magic roll. That's 53 for green goddess dressing, which is kind of like an herb vinaigrette for those who don't know. So our lunch special today is a soup using venison, jasmine rice, Old Bay, okra, cauliflower, and green goddess. Let's get cooking. The Old Bay is definitely throwing me into the Cajun vibe, so we're gonna start off with the holy trinity of onion, bell pepper, and celery as the base of the soup here. For the venison, I'm gonna be using ground venison because, as I mentioned in like episode 2, I think it was, the last time we got venison, there's not a whole lot of selection of venison at my local stores. Going to season everything pretty liberally with Old Bay here, the venison, the actual soup itself eventually. Old Bay usually is gonna be used with like chicken and seafood, but you know, I've seen it used with sausage before as well, so I think it could work, maybe. We're gonna throw in that rice and cauliflower at the last 15 or so minutes just to cook it enough. We don't want to disintegrate it in the soup or anything by overcooking it. And we're gonna finish with some green goddess dressing on top. Got a lot going on in this soup, so let's see how it tastes. Bon appetit. Yeah, the green goddess not really working with everything else here. Thankfully, it's not overpowering the rest of the soup, so you still get a pretty decent soup underneath it all. But yeah, I would remove the green goddess if I were to make this again. I do like the soup underneath, a lot of good vegetables in there. The venison gives it a nice gamey flavor, so it kind of feels like a soup that you might find in like a huntsman's lodge or something. All right, I'm gonna give this one a 6.3 out of 10, and I'm gonna call it the huntsman's soup. The base soup I definitely liked, but it definitely got dragged down by that green goddess, just didn't really work with the rest of the dish. Left kind of a weird sour taste on everything. All right guys, thanks for watching. Remember to like and follow, and I'll see you next time.